Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
Hi, and welcome to North Carolina Weekend. I'm Deborah Holt-Noel. In Civil War fighting around New Bern, 3 Confederate battle flags were captured by Union troops in 1862. 150 years later, those flags have returned to North Carolina and are part of the Museum of the Albemarle's Civil War Sesquicentennial exhibit. Producer Derek Long traveled to Elizabeth City to bring us more.
In Elizabeth City, the local history of the Civil War is told in the 6 historical markers around town. You learn about the battle in 1862, the Union occupation, about the divided loyalties and the bloody period referred to as the Terrible Time, and about the first U.S. colored troops stationed here. The Museum of the Albemarle has more about the Civil War in the region, and as part of the sesquicentennial observations about the Civil War in the area, a new exhibit is being added called Under Both Flags, Civil War in the Albemarle.
It will be a pretty complete story that we tell of northeastern North Carolina's struggle through the Civil War in the battles that ensued after the occupation occurred. And it was a difficult struggle because many people were looking for a way to survive and to endure. And it was about a 4-year occupation. It's a time of, well, it's been termed a terrible time because there's so much internal fighting due to the nature of the war. 50% of the people are for the Union, 50% are for the Confederacy.
And in this exhibit, you'll learn about what was going on in the home front mostly, the women, the children, what they were doing, how their lives changed when their husbands, when their children went off to war. And you'll meet a freed black, you'll meet a slave, you'll meet a woman, you'll meet a child, you'll meet a Union soldier, you meet a Confederate soldier, you'll meet a plantation owner. So all throughout the exhibit, we tried to tell each one of their stories and what they were doing before the war, what they're doing during the war, and what happened to them after the war.
Like Isaac Byram.
He joined right up first in 1861, and then he went to the Battle of Gettysburg in 1863, and there he lost his leg during the battle. He was left on the field basically to die. He was picked up by Union soldiers, taken to a hospital, and there he stayed in invalid corps until the end of the war, where he was given a prosthetic leg, and he came back home to Chowan County. We also have a person representing a colored troop. His name is Welcome Lee, and he left Elizabeth City and joined the colored troops. And that's about all that we really know about him. We don't really know what happened to him after the war, but we wanted to pull in someone that people hadn't quite met yet.
A touchscreen computer lets visitors hear first-hand accounts from diaries and letters of the time.
I have been engaged all day preparing bandages, lint, and little pillows for amputated limbs. And
Dear Pa, I take pleasure to write you a few lines to let you know I am well at present, and I hope that these few lines may find you the same.
So we have different characters throughout the exhibit that you'll learn their stories, what will happen to them.
Part of the exhibit includes the story of these 3 Confederate flags.
The flags were captured by the Massachusetts troops that were with Burnside's expedition. They were captured in New Bern at the Battle of New Bern. And the Worcester troops that were in the Massachusetts infantry took them back to Worcester, Massachusetts when they returned after the war. These 3 flags that were salvaged will return to the Museum of the Albemarle for our exhibit and will be rotated into the exhibit.
This is Derek Long for North Carolina Weekend.
The Museum of the Albemarle is located at 501 South Water Street in Elizabeth City. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information about this and other exhibits and events at the museum, give them a call at 252-335-1453 or go online to museumofthealbemarle.com.
Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.